How would I respond? I think I would respond in a calm way, dealing with my past and stuff like that, and knowing that there's a lot of treatment out there for me, and I can probably be cured. Not cured, but, treated, so I can live a long time.
I get really angry when in the media AIDS is being called a manageable illness. Excuse me, do you call constant diarrhea, wearing nappies, throwing up, catheters in your arm, almost dying, having your brain swell, having all these different diseases manageable? In whose eyes? They're not living with AIDS.
I wasn't getting a lot of nutrition, so I got this tube called a button, and it's in my stomach, and I get fed every night.
There are also some other really uncomfortable side effects from the protease inhibitors. And, besides the
mother instinct in us, I would rather go through it myself than to see her suffer. It's just hard. I can't describe it. I mean, this is a loved one that you care about, and you just want to help her, and you're helpless.
And past May, I was in the hospital for a month.
Her immune system is so taxed that whatever bug she gets just takes over her body.
People think because you have AIDS and you have the virus, they don't want to be around you. Thank you. I'm glad you don't want to be around me, especially if you've got a cold and you're coughing, because my immune system is too weak to fight off that little cold that you've got.
I have survived 9 life-threatening opportunistic infections. Opportunistic infections are illnesses that people with AIDS get because their immune system is so suppressed. I've survived 4 bouts of pneumocystis carinii pneumonia, CMV cytomegalovirus, immunologic thrombocytopenia. I had a PICC-line catheter in my arm, attacked my intestines, and I developed a fever of 105 degrees Fahrenheit, and my brain so weak. My pancreas has been damaged to the point of making me an insulin-dependent diabetic. Then they decided that they wanted to take out my spleen, so I was at much of it except for the pain, and I almost died.
I worry about my TCI count every time I go for my doctor's appointment. If they go down, I'm worried. Just a little bit. I don't want them to move.
It's not just one disease. It's a condition. AIDS is a condition that suppresses your immune system to the point where you're open for any bacteria, fungi, and viruses. Cancer. I had cervical cancer twice. See, if you get AIDS, more than likely you've been exposed to a lot of other sexually transmitted diseases.
Because every time you have sex with one person, you have sex with every person that other person has had.
People often think that they're immune to the HIV virus, that they're not going to get infected.
I don't care if you practice safe sex. That's not guaranteed to keep you from getting the virus. That's not absolutely guaranteed. All it takes is that one time.
I was infected in that one exposure.
Currently I'm not having sex, but when I start or whatever, I'll just be very, very careful.
It all depends on the person that you know. You're better off dealing with a person that you've known for years.
It's okay if, you're really deeply in love with that person, you really think that this is the person you'll spend the rest of your life with.
If you don't know your sexual partner and haven't known them for more than, 3 weeks, then you're probably in danger.
You know what? I've known this person for 6 months. They're not infected with the HIV virus. They would tell me if they're infected with HIV virus. The reality is, a lot of people out there today are infected with the HIV virus and they don't even know it.
Anyone can be a risky partner.
It doesn't discriminate.
There's no discrimination with it whatsoever.
It's your choice.
So if you want to be like me, never knowing, every time you get sick, the slightest little feeling, the slightest little cold, you get scared. Get very scared. Try living like that, if that's what it's going to take. That's what I want you to do, I dare you.
Wow. I try to avoid the thought of thinking that somebody might actually have AIDS. I mean, I don't really want to believe that it could be with anybody that I would be with.
If you want to take the risk of getting HIV infected and possibly ending your life, if not ending your life, dramatically changing the rest of your life, meaning that you may have to take pills the rest of your life, you may have to do injections, you may be sickly the rest of your life. If you choose to do that, if you choose to be sexually active, that is a consequence that you must endure.
If you're having a very active sexual life, and like you're having a lot of sex and using drugs, you need to be worried. And if you're doing it with people out there that are doing the same thing you're doing, you better be worried. You know, if there's no ifs and buts about it. You've got it, pal. So you might as well go and get tested, and so you can start taking care of yourself.
HIV is the consequence of your actions.
There is no such thing as safe sex unless you are married and you know that your partner has been faithful and you know that your partner does not have any sexually transmitted disease.
Sex is such a small part of a relationship. It's a great thing that God created for a man and wife, but it is such a small part of the relationship. If you're basing your whole relationship on sex, then you really have no relationship.
When you're married, God wants you to express your love freely with each other. I mean, He created us to love. He created us to desire sex. But He created us to have those privileges, so to speak, within the covenant of marriage. And that's the only place it's going to be safe.
That's why God gave Adam Eve, so he would not be alone. But God wanted His way to be, He wanted sex to be portrayed in a good way.
If you are fortunate enough to escape a sexually transmitted disease, let alone AIDS, which will kill you eventually, you have not escaped the damage that you've done to your heart and your soul. Because each time you have sex with a person who is not your husband or wife, you are giving that person a piece of your heart, a piece of your soul even. And with each time you do that, more and more of your heart is being given away.
I did everything I thought I wanted. We had a ceremony in our garden, and I still wasn't happy. There was still an emptiness inside.
Your heart can heal, but there will always be scars.